everyone, and happy November. I love November. November is a month of like family and food and lots of pumpkin spice and all of the goodies that I love and look forward to every year. Plus, you have December to look forward to, which is, I say every month is my favorite month. But June and December really do have my heart. So November, I'm always looking forward to decorating and getting my whole list together of all the yummy food I want to make and all of the fun plans with friends and family. So yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm excited for this month. We are going to try something a little different this month. Instead of putting the drills with the skills like I usually do, I'm actually going to put it with the choreography this month. So please let me know what you think about that. If you like it, if you don't like it, let me know your thoughts. And everything that I talk about in this video can be found within the membership at thatnicolefiore.com or on YouTube. The memberships are the same. It's just whether you want it to be on the site or if you want it to be on YouTube. I have a little bit more control of how it looks on my site, so I prefer that way because I think it looks prettier. But YouTube, it's just all set up within the playlist. So either way, you're receiving the same content and they're both amazing and I highly recommend. Both are the same price, $14.99, and you should go get a membership if you don't have one already. Okay, so what to practice this month? Let's start with week 1. I want you to work on the inner forward heel to heel transition. When you want to turn from forward to backward, the safest way to do so is typically the heel to heel transition. It is one foot, then the other. You just transfer your weight from one foot, then backwards on the other foot, together. If you have any issues, you can do what I just did, or if you're practicing in a limited space, you can just put your toe stop down. That is another thing. I want you to know that you can do all of this, everything I talk about, in a small space or in a large space. Obviously, if you have a larger space, you'll have more room, but you can be outside. That's the beautiful thing about roller skates, is you can do it literally anywhere except maybe on grass, but even on grass, you can work on transferring your weight. Or you can do it inside, in a small space, in a big space. It doesn't matter. If you have a smaller space, you'll need to press your edges a little more, which honestly, not a bad thing. I actually prefer that. So that heel to heel transition, speaking of your edges, if you can press an inner edge and then an inner edge coming out of it, you'll have an easier time. If that heel to heel transition, that position like this is difficult for you to do, work on your edges. Really press that inner forward edge so that when you put that foot down, you don't have to open your hips as much. You can kind of do more like a V and then press the inner back edge, close the book, and you're done. And you're rolling backward. There are a lot of body position things that I want you to focus on this month, and a lot of it has to do with not squaring off. So pay attention to where your body is. Pay attention to how much your core is rotating and how hard you are checking it. Now, our practice for this month is going to be our 3-turn. The 3-turn is another option for turning from forward to backward. Hello, how are you? Good. It is a beautiful day. I love making friends at the park. So your 3-turn is another option when you want to turn from forward to back or back to forward, but we're going to focus on forward to back. Now on one foot. Now, if you feel that you are not quite ready for 3-turns yet, I want you to practice them off skates. We will actually start the 3-turn off skates a lot of the time. So practice your 3-turn, work on your edges. Again, the 3-turn, I say again because I talk about this all the time. The 3-turn is called a 3-turn because you create a 3 on the ground. You can't create a 3 on the ground if you're just rolling flat like this, and then you pick up the heel wheels and turn. So I do recommend practicing pressing your edges in and out of the turn to really create that 3 and to work on your edges because, you know, why not? Okay, week 2, we are going to do choreography to Spice Up Your Life by the Spice Girls. I'm actually wearing my shirt for it. Let me see if I can unbutton this. It says, "'Tis the season." We're going to start with the beginner intermediate, of course, but our choreography is very steppy. It's very dancey. So you can absolutely do this one off skates or on skates. I know this time of year there is a lot of travel involved, and I want you to be able to practice it on the go as well. So We will be stepping a lot. We will be moving our body a lot. Really try to connect your body to your mind. Mind-body connection is super, super important on skates. And sometimes we kind of forget it when we put our skates on. On our feet, we pretty much know what our body's doing most of the time. Like when we need to pick something up, we know to reach our arm out, pick it up. But for some reason, when we put skates on, it could be that there's literally wheels on the bottom of your feet, minor detail, but we kind of lose that connection. So use this choreography to really connect your body to your mind. When you say step left, make sure you step left and make sure you don't stiffen up. If you were to step left on your feet, you wouldn't stiffen up and move your hips like this. So don't do it on your skates. Try to really connect and move naturally. I know that sounds easy and it's not, but really focus on that this month because the choreography is not all about dancing. I say it a lot, I use it as practice, but realistically, it's more time on your skates doing things that are a bit abnormal. And that is what is going to make your skating so much easier, more natural, and just better overall. Our practice this week, or our drill this week, is a brand new one, and it is scooter pushes. Now, please don't hate me. This drill, it kills. Like, it is probably the best workout I can ever suggest to anyone. And it is not the most fun, but we put it to a song that will at least make it enjoyable. But it is staying down on your leg, pushing in a circle. Now, if you are in a small space, obviously you won't be able to do this pushing really hard. I do it over there at the basketball court and I take up quite a bit of space. If you are doing this stationary, you can still push on the beat. You can dig your wheels into the ground, push out like that. I'm not moving when I'm doing this, but it is creating the exact same sensation, the exact same pain. So try that drill. It's a tough one, so if you have to build up to it throughout the month and practice it a little bit, I do highly recommend doing this at least once a week. I'm not gonna put it on the practice schedule as once a week, but please try to incorporate it into your skating more times than just this once. Week 3, we are going to do the strut walk. I'm gonna run into something if I'm not careful. Strut walk. Or the TikTok walk, whatever you want to call that. I have called it multiple things, but the TikTok walk, the strut walk, I went over this briefly in my workshop last month, and it was so funny because everyone had a what moment. You cannot get speed from the strut walk on its own. The strut walk is not just plopping your foot down. There's a lot more to it and a lot more control that has to go into it in order to make it look sexier, which I think is everyone's goal with the strut walk. Why not? So with the strut walk, you're not going to gain speed just by doing it. You have to already gain some speed. If you want to do it backward, then you need to have some speed going backward. So once I said that and people in the workshop did it, they were like, oh, this feels so much better. I was like, yeah, the people on TikTok that are doing it are not just magically gaining a ton of speed. They are skating, turning around, and then strutting. So if you have had a hard time with that, get some speed backward. Backward scissors, backward bubbles, pushes, gliding side to side, and then put one foot in front of the other. But check out the skills video for the strut walk because there is a lot more to it than simply putting one foot in front of the other. Now, our practice for this week is going to be the outer back 3 turn. This turn is part of the marching turn. If you do the outer forward 3 turn or the regular standard 3 turn into the outer back 3 turn, switching feet in between, that's a marching turn. But the outer back 3 turn is pressing, I have to step over that crack, pressing to an outer back edge, turning forward. Now on that 3 turn, whenever you're turning from backward to forward on a 3 turn, your toe wheels lift up. So if you're going to hop the turn, they completely lift up off the ground. You keep your hips back, everything stays here so you stay safe. Make sure when you lift the toe, you don't also push your hips forward, but make sure to check out that video within the membership because there is a lot of little things on turns that I really want everyone to know so that you can pretty much do any turn you want on one foot safely. There is no reason if you are an intermediate skater, beginner, I understand. Intermediate to advanced, you should be able to do all of the turns. Once you know the standard rules of like a 3-turn, you can take that then into your brackets, your rockers, your counters. There's a lot of body control. So exactly what I said for the heel to heel transition, really learning how to control that on your 3-turn, also learning how to control that, how to start a rotation, check a rotation to stop it. Super important also for that outer back 3-turn. So practice your outer back edge going into it and then lift the toe wheels, or if you're gonna slide the turn, you don't completely lift the toe wheel, you just lessen the weight in the toe so that it can slide or glide across the surface as you turn. All right, week 4, it is our advanced choreography to Spice Up Your Life by the Spice Girls. Now, it is advanced, so it is a bit more advanced. We have a toe stop rotation, we have a strut walk in it. It's a little more energy needed. That's the thing about advanced. That's why I always say, please check it out no matter what level you're at, because yes, the skills are a bit more difficult, but you can probably do most of it. It just requires a bit more energy. That's where I really amp it up, because if you are an advanced skater, I want you to be pushing yourself, not just in your skills, but also in how much energy you are spending in your skating. If you can do the drills, scooter pushes, you should be able to do the advanced choreography because it's that same upbeat pace. It's more stamina and endurance for the advanced choreography. But please check that out. Like I said, it is not just for skills and to learn how to dance on skates. It's also a very, very good practice tool that I use that's very fun at the same time. So it's a win-win. Okay, now speaking of that strut walk that we have in the advanced choreography, our drill that I want you to focus on this week is our strut training, drill 7. Now, when you do a strut walk, there's a lot of movement here and then placing the foot in front. I am on a light hill, so when I strut like this, I'm walking forward. But with the strut walk, there's a lot of muscle that we don't usually use when we walk in real life. Sure, when we walk in real life, it's pretty much the same, but when you strut walk, you're exaggerating. You're using your hamstrings, moving your leg up, really tightening your core to give you a little bit of a rotation. And then if you really want to make it extra, which of course I always want you to make it a little extra, and you want to really turn your body, add some shoulders, add some movement here, there's a lot of moving parts, so we have to practice it. That is the reason why I built these drills to begin with, is a lot of skaters think they can just put their skates on, learn a skill, no problem, it's with you forever. I wish that's how it was. So within the membership, you have access to drills, skills, choreography, off-skate drills, some mindfulness videos. There's a lot there for you to use, and I want you to use all of it. So within the membership on the site, or the membership on YouTube, you get access to all of that. And I want you to really use that. The drills are very important because I wish a skill would just stick like that forever and ever, but that's just not how it goes. We have to really make sure our muscles know what to do and that they remember what to do for a long time. So you'll see people and you'll meet people as a skater who are 80, 90 years old, and they're still able to skate. Sure, their bodies may not be as mobile as they were when they were 40, 50, or 14, 15, but they are still able to do the skills because they have practiced it over and over and over. Repetition is a huge part of skating, and that's why I'm kind of limiting what is in the practice schedule, because I want you to really focus in on what I'm having you practice and practice it over and over again throughout the week instead of just one time. So make sure you give yourself enough time to actually do it over and over. and really focus while you are doing it. Focus in on the muscle groups that are feeling a bit tired, because those are the ones that you are using. And of course, give yourself time to rest if you need it, but focus in on when you are lifting your leg, maybe you do need to flex this muscle before you put it down. And maybe it's not just when you step down. Maybe you have to acknowledge it when it's up in the air. Maybe you have to point your toe and tighten your calf. That's why skaters have such great calves, because we're constantly pointing our toes. And in real life, you're not just like shopping at the grocery store and pointing your toe. I am, but you know, normally you're not. So there's a lot to think about, especially when you are on wheels, and I want you to have that confidence and develop that confidence to be able to do it no matter what. Even if you are skating over a crack or on a hill like I am, or in a very small space, you'll know how to press your edges and really make it happen no matter what. So please let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, the membership on the site, thatnicolefiore.com, or the membership on my YouTube channel, they are the same. They're both $14.99 a month, and I hope you check it out. I'll see you later. Have a good month. Isn't that Christmas? La 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 la. That's Christmas.